fan of seated positions. If your hips are a little bit, I get a little bit of strain in the hip flexor on my left side, which will appear to you as the right. So you might see me fiddle around a bit. I found half lotus is the easiest way to compensate for that little niggle that's happening on that side, and it's always there, so I'm just living with it now. It's not an injury, it's just a little, I don't know, a little tight thing. You know when I tell you to scan through the body and become aware and wrap awareness around anything that arises. So if I sit like this for too long, like if I'm in a meditation and I meditate, got a daily meditation practice, if I sit like this for too long without like a block underneath to elevate my hips, when I get up, I'm like limping. It's pretty funny. All right, so let's close down our eyes and just take a little bit of time to really arrive, not just physically arrive on the mat, but allow yourself to mentally arrive on the mat as well. So letting go of your day, and we're all still working from home at the moment, just talking to Mark, and she was saying what she's back at work next week, and so am I by the looks of it. 1st of July looks like Powerlink Gym is opening back up, so not ready though, Carla, got to say. But anyway, it is what it is. So let's just take some time to let go of anything that's happened in your morning so far. Monday mornings can be quite busy, whether we're working from home or from our usual workplace. There can be a lot of things to do on Monday morning as we start back to our working week. So just put that to the side, and then equally anything you have on after class, just push that to the side as well, so we can kind of bookend ourselves in this space, the four corners of the mat that we are on. And just really start to settle in, feel whatever body part you've got on the mat, just kind of feel it drop down a little more. It's a little bit chilly today as well, and it feels like it's gotten a little bit cooler as the breeze has come up and as the day has progressed. So we'll get a little warm as we move through our flow, but then at the end, make sure you have something you can cover yourself with for our Shavasana so we don't get too chilly. Let's bring an awareness and observation to our breath here, just noticing what our breath is like. Don't change it, just observe it. Notice when you breathe in, what's happening through the body. Is there a lifting through the shoulders? Are you bringing that breath into the body and then drawing it up? And if that's the case, just change that direction just a little and bring it into the body and expand it out instead of lifting it up. So you have a little bit more control, a little bit more intention with each breath in and out. Intention on the inhale to bring the breath into the body and then expand through the front, the back and the side. And on the exhale, our intention is to, as we let that breath leave the body, be left with softness. So it's an expansion on the inhale, creating that space, and then directing softness on the exhale. And that softness can be felt as we let the body just drift back to its usual position. And then let yourself scan through your physical body this morning, and perhaps you move a little here. You don't have to be still. I like to move the head around a little here, shaking it gently up and down, giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll up, back and down as well, and just a kind of shifting perhaps of the weight from side to side. From my sit bones are connected to the mat, yours maybe too, and you can just kind of move around and forward and back, and that might sort of, this is where I feel that little niggle in my hip flexor and a little bit into the piriformis muscle on the side. So I'm like, okay, that's just a awareness that that's an issue there for me that generally doesn't flare up in any other position but this one. and that's okay. Well, it's alleviated a little through the half lotus, but a normal cross-legged position. So if you have anything going on in your body or you're tight in any areas, that might mean that you might spend a little bit more time in a pose or go a little deeper in a pose to see if you can soften through some of that tension or tightness. But equally, if you have an injury or something else is arising during this inquiry that you haven't had the time in your day or your days or your week to actually acknowledge, now's the time to just notice. And noticing these things that before they get bigger. So I know for me, a little bit of Pilates work and exercises and strengthening through that glute is what I need to do. It's not an injury that needs lots and lots of work, and it flares up every now and then. So there may be something like that happening for you. But if something doesn't feel quite right as we move through the flow, just come and sit back into your child's pose. Just ease back and stay there as long as you need to. Go there as often as you like. Just take some time to regroup and regather and join back in as you feel ready. So let's come back to our breath now, and we'll work on deepening that breath even a little more and keeping that same flow with the direction, drawing the breath in, bringing it as deep as you can into the body with the inhale. And feeling that expansion. Now, ideally, we want to take the breath all the way down to the belly if we can. So we feel the belly rise a little through the front, the back, and the side. And then let that breath continue to rise up with expansion all the way into your chest. So at the peak of the inhale, the collarbones will lift just a little. You'll feel the ribcage expand to the edges of your skin. And then we start to invite that softness on the exhale. Breath leaves top of the lungs, bottom of the lungs. Diaphragm muscle shifts up just a little, and as that breath lastly leaves the belly, that's when we start to feel that navel draw softly in towards the spine. So nice and slow, as deep as you can without forcing the breath. But being very aware of that expansion, not just the front, but well-rounded, yeah? Back as well, sides as well, and letting it continue to rise all the way back up into your chest. And then inviting softness. So maybe you feel like you need to invite some softness to your face muscles or your jaw, relax the jaw. It's not just about this torso part. We want to invite softness to any area in the body that is feeling a little tense and tight. Because yes, we're breathing intangibly, we're feeling it in the torso, but we're sending that breath throughout the whole body, yeah? To the tips of the toes, to the top of the head. So there is room for us to expand in every area of the body and to equally soften. It's just taking your awareness to that area that you want to expand and then create that softness in. So take one more of these yogic breaths. As I said, we're not going to be seated for too long, and I now have a black cat that has joined me. And when you're ready for your next inhale, peel the eyes open, bring the hands towards the ceiling to meet in prayer, and exhale, guide the hands to your heart. And let's go again. Inhale and exhale. So one more breath, but this time just let your fingers touch on the inhale. And on the exhale, let the right hand come down, left arm reaches for the right. So we're going to inhale, come back through T-arms, and exhale over to the left. And come back to the right. Inhale and exhale. Holding on this side and just taking 3 breaths, but softening that shoulder down away from the ear. Feel like you want to create some space from the bottom of the ear to the top of the shoulder. Really softening through that elbow as well. And then use your breath. Press the floor away. Lift the torso a little on the inhale and then go that little bit deeper on the exhale. And then we can go again. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale, exhale to reach. So use your next inhale now, bring the hands to meet in prayer, and as you exhale, guide the hands all the way to the navel or solar plexus. Interlace the fingers here. Draw the hands towards the chin, lift the elbows nice and high with that breath in, and on the breath out, round through your spine, chin to chest, navel to spine. Inhale, lift the arms. And on that exhale, bring the hands all the way behind, interlace the fingers, draw the hands towards the floor, lift up and away from the buttocks. Draw the shoulders back, broaden the collarbone, send the gaze to the ceiling with that inhale. And then on the exhale, let's bring the hands back to the heart. Keep the hands in prayer. Inhale, send the hands towards the ceiling. Exhale, let's find those cactus arms. Inhale, let your fingers touch. Now we're going to twist to the left on the exhale. Right hand finds the left thigh or knee, left hand comes behind. Lift and lengthen with your breath in, crown of the head reaching nice and tall. On the breath out, let the shoulder lead the way. Shoulder, rib cage, chest. Lastly, that head and neck turns to the back of the room. So each breath in is a lift and lengthen. Each breath out is where we get to work a little deeper into the twist, but always leading with the torso. Shoulder, rib cage, chest. Then the head and neck follows. It's nice and safe. Let's use our next inhale to turn everything back to center. Bring the hands towards the ceiling to meet in prayer, and exhale, guide the hands to the heart. We'll take the flow to the left now. Inhale, let the fingers touch. Exhale, that left hand comes down, right arm reaches. Let's come back to the right. Inhale through T-arms. Exhale over to the right. One more time. Inhale and exhale. And on this side, we hold. Dropping the shoulder, relaxing the shoulder, creating space from that top of the shoulder to the ear, softening through the elbow. And then 3 little pulsations with our breath. Inhale, press the floor away. Exhale, go a little deeper. Let's go again. Inhale and exhale. One more breath. So we use our next inhale now, bring the hands back to meet in prayer. Exhale, guide the hands to the navel or solar plexus. Fingers interlace here. Inhale, draw the hands towards the chin, the elbows lift nice and high, and then exhale, round through your spine, chin to chest, navel to spine. As you inhale, lift the arms. And on the exhale, bring those hands all the way behind, fingers interlace here. We draw the hands towards the floor. Lift a little up and away from the buttocks. Draw the shoulders back, broaden the collarbones. Maybe send that gaze to the ceiling with an inhale. And then on the exhale, bring the hands back to the heart. Keep the hands in prayer. Inhale, send them towards the ceiling. Exhale, find your cactus arms. So we'll twist to the right this time. Inhale, fingers touch. Exhale, we twist to the right. Left hand finds the right knee, right hand comes behind. Lifting, lengthening with that breath in. And on the breath out, we twist shoulder, rib cage, chest. Lastly, that head and neck turns to the back of the room. So each breath in is a lift and lengthen through the crown of the head. And each breath out, we work a little deeper into the twist. Shoulder, rib cage, chest. So use your next breath in now to guide everything back to the center. Hands reach for tall mountain pose. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart. And then think about how you might like to transition to your hands and knees. Any way you get there is fine. I like to inhale, bring the hands towards the ceiling. Exhale, the hands come out in front and we shift the weight forward, uncross the feet. And just bring your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And start just to take some cat and cow breath here. As you inhale, let the belly drop, chest comes forward, gaze forward or eye gaze to the ceiling, and then exhale round through your spine, chin to chest, navel to spine. Let's go again. Inhale, belly drops, chest comes forward. Exhale to curl. One more time. Inhaling, doing this nice and slow so you feel that nice stretch down the torso as you inhale. And then really press the floor away, rounding through that spine on the exhale. Find that nice neutral spine, and I want us to keep that cat and cow kind of movement in the forefront of our mind. As we inhale, take that right leg out behind, bend the leg here. So feel like you're kind of pressing the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. And we're thinking kind of cat and cow. So as you inhale, the belly drops, send the gaze forward. And then on the exhale, draw the knee to chest, forehead to knee, and round a little through the spine. So this would be our cow kind of shape. We inhale, send the leg back, belly drops, chest comes forward. Exhale, round into that cat, press the floor away. One more time. Inhale. Now this time on the exhale, allow that foot to step all the way to the front of the mat between your hands. And we'll inhale, lift the arms here. Now we're working with hamstrings today. So as we exhale, bring the hands down and start to slide the hips back so we start to feel into that hamstring stretch. Let's go again. Inhale. Nicest walk, fastest way to get nice and warm through this, to the lower body. Exhale, hands come down, hips slide back, toes starting to draw back towards the shin. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now on this exhale, as we slide back, this is where we hold. Walk your hands back towards the knee. We want our toes drawing back towards the shin, heel pressing firmly into the mat, and then feel energetically like you're trying to draw that heel back towards you. But the left knee you're trying to draw to the front of the mat. So we're feeling these two things draw towards each other to deepen the stretch in the hamstring. And then we take a forward fold. Lift the chest as you breathe in, tipping from the hip crease. We want to bring the chest a little forward and then lower it down over the front thigh as we breathe out. And this should deepen the stretch in your hamstring. Let's go again. So the same as we would take a forward fold as we were standing up, we tip from the hip crease. We don't want to round through the shoulders. We want to keep the chest forward. Let's now start to bring our hands back to frame the front foot, shift the weight forward. I'm just going to turn front on for this one. Cat and cow again, cat and cow kind of movement. Left hand stays on the mat. We're going to inhale, take the right arm up towards the ceiling. Now, on the exhale, this would be our little cat. Bring the arm underneath, but press the floor away a little so we round through that spine. So on the inhale, you feel like the belly's dropping, the chest comes forward. And we draw that right arm up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, the arm just floats under, but you're pressing the floor away, moving back a little with the weight, rounding through the spine. This time as we inhale and take the arm up, just hold here for a breath or two, pressing firmly through the left palm. Letting that arm linger a little longer. Your gaze can be to the floor, the wall, or towards the ceiling, your choice. Take a deep breath in. On the breath out, release the right hand. Now take that right leg back behind you and bend the leg here. Now you can point the toes this time and just draw the toes up towards the ceiling. Or you can take your left hand around and take hold of the top of the foot and take a little kick back if that's available for you. Just see how that feels. One more breath. If you did take hold of the foot, just release the foot, bring the hand back down, and then we can all just bring that right knee down and take a little side to side move here. And because we just opened up the chest and we're nice and warm, let's inhale again, take the right arm up towards the ceiling. And exhale, slide that arm underneath the left, bring the right side of your face down onto the mat. Let your left hand crawl to the top of the mat and over to the right side. So we're looking underneath that left arm and opening up a little through the front of that chest on the left side, as well as feeling that nice stretch down the right shoulder blade. One more breath. And then start to let that left hand find its way back underneath the left shoulder. As you inhale, press the floor away. Now on the exhale, let's find puppy pose. Hands come all the way to the front. Take a breath in. On the breath out, sink chin and chest down towards the floor. And just take 3 breaths in this puppy pose. A little lift on the inhale. Maybe we go a little bit deeper on the exhale. And again. And then use your next breath in, press the floor away and start to walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. So once we're back in our tabletop, knees under hips, hands under shoulders, just take a couple of rounds of cat and cow here. So we establish that nice movement again through the spine. So we can take that flow over to the left side. So from that nice neutral spine, let's inhale, take the left leg out behind, bend the leg. Sole of the foot presses up towards the ceiling. So we're keeping with that same cat and cow flow. So on the inhale, the belly would drop, the chest comes forward, gaze forward. And then exhale, round through your spine, chin to chest, navel to spine. Knee drawing in. Inhale. Exhale to curl. So curling the knee in as we draw the chin to chest. One more time. Inhale, letting the belly drop. Now on the exhale this time, knee comes in towards the chest, but we also step that foot between our hands at the front of the mat. Then we can inhale, lift to our nice low lunge, and exhale, bring the hands down, and start to slide those hips back, toes drawing back towards the shin. And then let's go again. Inhale, we lift the arms, exhale, hands come down, hips slide back, hamstring getting a little bit warm, a little bit of energy coming through. One more time, not quite there yet. Exhale, the hands come down, hips slide back, hold here. Walking your hands towards the back of the mat, letting your toes draw in towards that shin. So we want to set this up here, feeling as if we're attempting to draw our heel back towards us. So you deepen that stretch through the back of the leg. And if you draw the right knee forward, so you're in effect drawing those two things towards each other, you should get a deeper stretch through the back of that leg. Then we can add on a forward fold. Inhale, lift your chest, bring it a little forward and lower it down as you exhale. And that hamstring should be getting a lovely stretch now. One more. And then let's start to shift the weight back into that left foot, back into our lunge. Right hand can stay on the mat. Inhale, take the left arm up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, as we bring that arm and float it under, we kind of press the floor away, find a kind of cat shape here. Inhale, you'll feel the belly drop as you bring the weight forward. And exhale, curling into that nice roundedness through the back. This time we let that arm linger just a little longer. Hold the arm up on the inhale. Draw the left shoulder back. Draw the left knee in towards the midline of the mat. You can gaze to the floor, the wall, or the ceiling. Your choice here. Take a breath in. And on the breath out, release that left hand. And we'll take the left leg behind us. Bend the leg. And you have options here. Just pointing the toes and drawing the toes towards the ceiling. Or maybe you take the right hand around, take hold of the top of the foot. And take a little kick back, pressing the foot into the hand. Release that now. And let that knee come down. And we'll just take a little side to side movement and we'll thread the needle on the other side. So let's inhale, take that left arm once again back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, slide that arm underneath the right. So the left side of the face comes down onto the mat. We gently draw that shoulder back towards us. Right hand walks to the top of the mat and then over to the left corner. So we open up through the right side of the chest, drawing that left shoulder all the way, or all the time, I guess. Not all the time, but drawing it back towards us. All the while, that's the phrase I was looking for, all the while. One more breath. And then let's start to slide that hand back underneath that right shoulder. As you inhale, press the floor away, and this time on the exhale, bring your hands just a hand's length out in front, and we'll start to warm up through the upper body. Come forward on your inhale. Now on the exhale, just slide back. Just take these little movements to start with. Inhale through a low plank. Exhale back. And this is a nice way to condition and warm up through your wrists as well. Let's add on a little. Inhale forward. Exhale halfway lower. Inhale to press the floor away. And exhale back. Active child's pose. And can we do that again? Inhale. Exhale halfway lower. Inhale to press the floor away. Exhale back, active child's pose. Now this time we come all the way to the mat. So inhale through a nice low plank. Exhale, we lower all the way to the floor. We'll find Sphinx pose to start with. Come on to your forearms, elbows under shoulders, palms of the hands pressing into the floor. On your breath in, lift your gaze here. I want you to squeeze your glutes together in this Sphinx pose. Can you drop the shoulders a little away from the ears? Feel the pubic bone pressing into the mat. And then draw it up a little towards your navel. Take one more breath in. On the breath out, lower your chest to the floor and slide your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck toes, lift through your low plank. With your inhale. On your exhale, find your way back to your downward facing dog. But I want you just to keep a little bit of softness through the knees to start with. Press the palms of your hands firmly into the mat. Spread the fingers nice and wide. And now let yourself pedal into your downward facing dog. Letting one heel at a time drop towards the mat. So lifting onto your toes with maybe an inhale, exhale, left heel comes down. Inhale onto your toes, exhale, right heel. And just do a couple more. I just had a lot of cracks in my ankles then, but it's a nice way to just keep warming into the backs of the legs as well. And then let's take a twist. Come onto your toes. Slide the heels to the right. Don't bend the knees this time. Can you bring the soles of the feet almost onto the mat? And then twist like you're making a kind of rainbow shape or an arch. And then come back through center. We want feet hip distance here as we walk our hands all the way back to our feet. Bend your knees, let your chest rest on your thighs. Take hold of opposite elbows and let the body just swing or sway in this ragdoll pose just for a few moments. Shaking your head, maybe yes and no. I just got really hot. Relaxing the shoulders, the lower back, no stress. And then when you're ready, bring your hands onto the mat and take a nice slow spinal roll with your breath in. Feel bone stack on bone. Let your head and neck be the last things that rise here. Now, if you're okay, your blood pressure's okay, it's nice to just close the eyes down here just for a few moments and really sink into this Tadasana, this mountain pose. Let the soles of the feet sink down into the mat, but imagine they're sinking into the earth, and allow a little bit of softness to your knees, but gently draw the kneecaps up towards the pubic bone towards the navel, the tailbone towards the floor. And give your shoulders a roll up, back and down. Palms of the hands face the front of the room. And just allow yourself to feel into this mountain pose, this grounding down through the feet, this lifting up through the crown of the head. And take one more breath, and we're going to make our way to the front of the mat. So peel your eyes open. All you need to do is just step your left foot forward. Let your right heel come into the middle of the mat. So both legs are kind of straight. We're going to inhale, lift the arms, fingers touch, and exhale, bring the hands behind, interlace the fingers here, draw the hands towards the floor, lift up and away from the buttocks with your breath in, and then fold forward on your breath out. Now you can stay here at a flat back, or you might lower a little bit closer to that front thigh, lifting the hands towards the ceiling. This is our little mini pyramid, just a mini one. Now, to come back up or to exit this pose safely, we'll inhale all to a flat back, then bend into that left leg and then press the floor away, straightening back through that leg. Release the hands. Now we get to step the right foot forward, just a normal step, and the left heel comes into the center of the mat. Inhale, lift the arm. Exhale, bring those hands behind, fingers interlace here. Hands draw towards the floor, up and away from the buttocks on the inhale. And then we start the forward fold on the exhale. And you can stay on the flat back, or maybe with another breath, lower a little closer to that front thigh. So a nice deep stretch through the hamstring. To exit this pose, once again, inhale, lift halfway or to a flat back. Soften or softly bend into that right leg, press the floor away. So we're back into those two straight legs. Release the hands, step the left foot to the front of the mat. We should all be at the front of the mat. Yay. Thumbs up, here we are. Let's inhale now, lift the arms, hands meet in prayer. And exhale, let yourself forward fold down onto your mat. Inhale, find a halfway lift, a nice flat back. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Right leg steps to the back of the mat, nice big long runner's lunge. We're going to drop through the back knee. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, find cactus arms. Take one more breath here, maybe send the gaze towards the ceiling. And then release the hands to frame that front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Slide the left leg to the back of the mat. Find your plank here, high or low, your choice. Take a breath in, lower to the mat with your breath out. Hands just a fraction wider than your shoulders. Hug the elbows in. Inhale, lift and find a cobra. Use your exhale though, just to soften through the shoulders. Hug the elbows in, squeeze the glutes together, gazing forward. Then take a nice deep breath in. And on the breath out, let's lower back to the mat. Hands under shoulders, tuck your toes, lift through your plank, high or low with an inhale. Exhale back, find your downward facing dog. Now from here, we're going to inhale, take the right leg up towards the ceiling. Bend the knee. Exhale, draw the knee towards the chest. Step that foot between your hands at the front of the mat. Drop the back knee. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, find cactus arms once again. Take a deep breath in, maybe sending the gaze towards the ceiling. And then on the breath out, release the hands to frame the front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift the back knee. Use your inhale this time to step that left foot to the front of the mat. Exhale, chest onto thighs, and then a nice slow spinal roll with your next breath in. Feeling bone stack on bone. Hands reach for that tall mountain pose. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Let's try a swan dive with this next one. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, leave at the chest, arms out nice and wide, nice flat back, bend the knees as much as you need to. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Now, left leg this time steps to the back of the mat. Nice big long runner's lunge, but keep the knee lifted. And as you inhale, we lift the arms. Now, we're going to flow here. On the exhale, bring the hands down. Start to slide the hips back, straightening. This is our pyramid little variation. And then we do that again. We inhale, bend into the front leg, lift the arms, come to our nice high lunge. And then exhale, the hands come down, hips slide back, left heel reaching for the mat, still stretching the hamstring. One more time, inhale, bend into that front leg, lifting the arm. Exhale, the hands come down, slide the hips back, now we hold. And this is the pyramid variation. Left heel's reaching for the mat behind us, reaching, yeah? This right leg is relatively straight. We just don't want to lock out through the knee. But here's where we can work a little with the breath. Lifting the chest on the inhale. Bringing the chest just a little forward so we're not rounding through the spine. Keeping the chest forward. And then maybe letting it just lower down over that front thigh. But don't lock the knee out. Try and keep a little bit of softness through the knee. One more breath. And I don't want to be rude here, but I'm going to turn to the right. So bend into that right leg. Left hand stays on the mat. Inhale, take the right arm up towards the ceiling. So now we can take this high revolved lunge. Take a deep breath in. On the breath out, release the right hand. Now we slide the right leg to the back of the mat. Find your plank, high or low, your choice. Take a breath in. Lower to the floor with your breath out. Now, can we take our hands to the very edge of the mat, widen them just a little for a variation of our cobra. Inhale, peel the chest off the mat. Exhale, relax the shoulders, hug the elbows in, squeeze the glutes. Try to keep the neck nice and neutral. So don't send the gaze towards the ceiling, just gaze about a meter ahead of you. Take a deep breath in, and then on the breath out, release the chest back to the floor. Hands now on the shoulders. Tuck your toes, lift through your plank, high or low with an inhale. Exhale back, we find that downward facing dog. Inhale now, take the left leg up towards the ceiling. Bend the knee. On the exhale, draw the knee to chest and step that foot between our hands at the front of the mat. Now we keep the right knee lifted and we inhale, lift to that nice high lunge, and we flow then, exhale, the hands come down. We slide the hips back, finding that pyramid variation, but keep moving. Inhale, bend back into that left leg. Lift the arms for that high lunge. And exhale. Hands come down. Hips slide back. One more time. Inhale. Nice high lunge. Exhale. Hands come down. Slide the hips back and hold now in this variation of our pyramid. Right heel's reaching for the mat. Mine doesn't reach, but it's reaching. We've got a nice or relatively straight left leg, but we're not looking out through the knee. Lift your chest a little on the inhale. You can stay here with a nice flat back, or you could bring that chest a little forward and maybe you start to lower it down over that front thigh. But it's only if it feels good for you. One more breath. And then let's bend into that left leg. Right hand stays on the mat. Inhale, take the left arm up towards the ceiling. So we're taking this nice open revolve lunge now, high lunge, through this left side. Take a nice deep breath in. And on the breath out, release the left hand. We're taking left leg to the back of the mat, finding a plank now. Take a breath in, lower to the floor as you breathe out. And we'll bring the hands completely off the mat, walk them forward. Press into the pads of your fingers and inhale, lift and find your striking cobra here. So soften again the shoulders on the exhale, hug the elbows in, squeeze those glutes together. Take a nice deep breath in, and on the breath out, lower back onto the mat. Hands under shoulders, tuck your toes, lift through your plank high or low with an inhale. Exhale back now, find your downward dog. Take a little pedal through your dog. We're going to take 3 breaths in our down dog. If you feel to, you could come to child's pose. And now we're going to find our warrior 1 pyramid flow. So if you're in child's pose, use your next breath to lift back up to your downward facing dog. We'll tiger curl this time as well, starting with the right leg. As you inhale, take the right leg up towards the ceiling. Bend the knee. Exhale, knee comes to chest. Shift the weight forward, like you're shifting forward almost to a kind of plank position. Inhale, send the leg back. Bend the knee. Exhale, knee to chest. We shift forward. One more time. Inhale, send the leg back. Bend the knee. Exhale, knee to chest. Weight shifts forward. We want to step that foot between our hands at the front of the mat. If it doesn't quite make it, that's okay. Just pick it up and move it along. Now, setting up for warrior 1, we're actually going to step our left foot in, half or 3/4 of a step, drop the heel, and then heel toe the right foot to the edge of the mat. So our legs have widened, but also shortened just a little bit. Bend into that right leg as you inhale. Lift the arms, and then we exhale, sink it down into warrior 1. So warrior 1, we want our hips facing the front. Relax the shoulders. Bring awareness to the very back arch of your left foot, the little pinky toe, and start to press that firmly into the mat. So little pinky toe, outer blade of that foot is firmly planted. Relax the shoulders, perhaps send the gaze towards the ceiling. Soften shoulders, fingers reach nice and tall. Keep pressing back through the outer blade of the left foot, forward through the toes of the right foot. One more breath. And then, with your next inhalation, we'll straighten through the front leg. And on the exhale, let's tip forward again. Find that forward fold. And then let your hands find a position that best suits you here. It could be the thigh above the knee. It could be the shin below the knee. But not the knee, because that's a joint. So above or below the knee, or framing the front foot, and this is pyramid pose. We found our way to our pyramid pose. Outer blade of the left foot still pressing firmly into the mat. We have a nice stretch through the hamstring. And you can again have that nice flat back if that best supports you. Or you can work with the breath to forward fold and bring the chest down over the thigh. Maybe the forehead reaches the shin. I did say maybe. And there's an option to also revolve this pyramid. So you can keep your left hand on the mat and inhale, draw the right arm up towards the ceiling. So revolving the pyramid, option, yeah? Option, option, option. Take a nice deep breath in. And on the breath out, let's release the right hand. Now we're going to readjust all those adjustments. So turn onto the ball of your left foot and slide the heel back because we brought it in just a little. And we widen the right foot, so heel toe it back between the hands, yeah? And then slide that right leg to the back of the mat. Find your plank. Take a breath in. On the breath out, lower to the floor. Let's just find a cobra here. Hands a fraction wider than your shoulders. Inhale, peel your chest off the mat. And on the exhale, let yourself float back down. Hands under shoulders, tuck your toes, lifting through that plank, high or low with an inhale. Exhale back, find your downward facing dog. Now we'll take this flow to the left side. So tiger curling on the left leg. Inhale, take the left leg up towards the ceiling. Bend the knee. Exhale, knee to chest. Shift that weight forward. Let's go again. Inhale, send the leg back. Bend the knee. Exhale, knee to chest. Weight shifts forward. One more time. Inhale, send the leg back. Bend the knee. Exhale, knee to chest. We're shifting the weight forward, stepping that foot between our hands at the front of the mat. Helping it along if it needs to. Taking that right foot now, bringing it in half or 3/4 of a step and dropping the heel. Heel to the left foot, to the edge of the mat. Widening the stance, shortening the stance. Bending into that left leg, lifting the arms. Exhale, sinking into warrior one. So warrior one, our hips face the front of the room. Relax the shoulders, bend into that left leg, bend the knee. Now this time we take awareness to the outer blade, little pinky toe of the right foot. Send the gaze towards the ceiling if that feels comfortable for you. One more breath, one more breath. And then we can straighten through the front leg as we inhale. And exhale, find our way to pyramid. Tipping forward, reaching the hands nice and far forward. And then letting them find an area, maybe on the leg or the floor, above the knee, below the knee, framing the front foot. And now we have our pyramid pose, Tadasana. Using the breath here, you can stay with that nice flat back, or you might just play around a little with bringing the chest, keeping the chest forward. So we're not rounding, we're keeping the chest forward, but maybe allowing it to lower a little over the front thigh. One more breath, and then you can decide if you'd like to revolve this pyramid. Right hand stays on the mat, and we inhale, take the left arm up towards the ceiling. Let's release that hand back down now. And we'll make those adjustments. Turn onto the ball of the right foot, slide it back as we bend into the left leg. Heel to that left foot between our hands. And take that left leg to the back of the mat. Find your plank, high or low. Now you can take a cobra or sphinx, or you might try up dog with me. If you want to try up dog, take a breath in. Halfway lower on your breath out. Then let your weight come forward as we come on to the tops of our feet, and hips are off the floor, knees are off the floor. The tops of the feet are on the floor and the palms of our hands. That's the only point of contact. Take a breath in, and then on the breath out, we can lift the hips, roll over onto our toes, and find our way back to down dog, or you can come back through your plank, high or low, We all meet back in our downward facing dog. Let your knees come down onto the mat. And then draw one knee at a time towards your hands. Cross your ankles. Sit back on your mat and extend your legs out in front. And just give the legs a little bit of a shake. And maybe shuffle yourself to the top of your mat here. So we're going to, because our hamstrings are nice and warm, let's take a forward fold here. So inhale, lift the arms, and exhale. Let yourself tip from the hip crease. Feel like you're stretching your fingers nice and long, and your chest is, and so we don't want to round through the back, we want to keep the chest lifted. And then let your hands just fall wherever. It could be, they might take the toes, it might be by the calf muscles or the ankles, it doesn't matter. What matters most is that we're not rounding, is that we've kept that back nice and straight. And then let's take 3 breaths here. Lifting the chest a little with the inhale and bringing the chest forward a little on the exhale. And you can take hold of your toes if that's appropriate, so if you're able. Sometimes it gives you a little bit of leverage. One more breath. And then let's, with our next breath in, just start to slowly slide the hands back. We're going to take them all the way behind us. We have options here. We can point the toes and lift the buttocks and take a reverse plank here. But if that's not for you, you can draw the feet in, bend the knees, and then take a reverse tabletop. It's just a nice little counter pose for that forward fold. Take one more breath in, and then lower everything back to the mat as you breathe out. And let's straighten those legs once again, everybody. Keep the hands where they are. Just cross your right ankle over your left knee. And then let's draw the left knee in a little. We haven't really done much with our glutes today, so before we come onto our back, let's just ease into a stretch through the glutes. So from here, you might slide your buttock a little closer to the heel. And then you might start to walk your hands in as you draw that right knee away from you and open a little into that right glute. Keep the chest lifted. Draw the shoulders back. One more breath, one more breath. And then find your way back. Walk your hands back if you walked them in. Slide the buttock back if you drew the buttock towards the heels. Straighten the leg. And then I'd like you to actually draw that leg all the way across. So if you can, the right knee is somewhat sitting on top of the left knee. And we're going to inhale, lift the arms, and exhale once again. Come forward in a slightly different forward fold. So this one might feel a little nervy up the back of the leg. So be a little mindful here. Nice and gentle, nice and gentle. If you can touch your toes and you want to, that's fine. One more breath. And then we can start to inhale, slide the hands back, bring them once again behind us. And we'll just take the right foot to the edge of the mat, take the left foot to the edge of the mat, bending both of the knees. Just take a little windscreen wiper action here, letting the knees gently fall from one side to the other. And then come back through center. Straighten the right leg, but let the left ankle or heel cross just above the top of the right knee or on that thigh. And then draw the right knee in, and then find your way through this stretch through the glutes. Slide the buttocks towards the heels, walk the hands in. Keep all the while pressing that left knee away, so we're working through that left glute. Chest is lifted, shoulders are back. One more breath. And then start to find your way back. Hands come back, slide the buttock back, straighten the right leg, and then draw that left knee across. So if you can, it's like the one knee is kind of sitting on top of the other. Draw the toes of the right foot back. Inhale, lift the arms, and then exhale. We forward fold again, tipping from the hip crease. You won't get as far. You're not meant to. This is a slightly different forward fold. If that's really tight through your hamstring or through the back of the leg, just soften a little through the knee. One more breath. And then let's use our inhale to press or lift the chest. Bring the hands back behind you and extend the left leg out. Just give the legs a little shake. We're going to make our way down onto our backs now. So inhale, lift the arms, lift the torso, and exhale, roll down onto your mat. And when you get there, when you arrive, draw one knee at a time in towards the chest and take that just little rock and roll to start with. So seeing if you can rest your thighs on your lower belly and then hands to the knees and take some circles. So it's just a nice, slow circle with the knees to massage through the glutes and the lower back. And change direction. Take 3 or 4 and then pause and change. And then hug those knees in and just give them a gentle squeeze here. And then let your feet touch down and bring your arms out to make a T pattern. Let's lift our hips, slide them a few centimeters to the right. Draw the knees into the chest and then let those knees gently fall to the left. Your left hand can sit on top of that right thigh. Your head can face the left or the ceiling or the right. Up to you and how your neck is feeling today. Let that left hand come back out to the side now. Roll back onto your back, and as your feet touch down, lift your hips, slide them a few centimeters to the left, and draw the knees into the chest and let them just gently fall to the right. Right hand can sit on top of that left thigh. Head can be turned to the right, to the ceiling, or to the left. Release that right hand now. Let's roll onto our backs. And as those feet touch down, slide the hips back into center. So draw your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your shins. Lift your head and shoulders off the floor here. So we curl into this little C point. Curl in as tight as you can. Take a nice deep breath in. And then on the breath out, lower the head and shoulders. Let the feet touch down below the buttocks. Extend one foot at a time to the bottom of the mat. So here's where, if you're a little chilly, we're setting up for Shavasana. So here's where you might grab a jumper, a blanket, a shawl, a shirt, socks, whatever you have at your disposal. A pillow, maybe a pillow underneath the backs of your knees. That can be nice as well. And then when you're all settled and when you feel warm, let your feet just open out to the side. Palms face the ceiling. Start to really just soften and relax into your Shavasana. Knowing now that all of the work has been done. There's nothing left for you to do. It's all been done. But you get to be on your mat in this space. And spending just some time in your body, letting it soften, just letting it drop down into the mat. Soften through your feet, the ankles, shins and calves, the knees, backs of knees, the thighs, backs of thighs. Soften the glutes, the lower back, the hips, the pelvis, the lower belly, the upper belly and the middle back and into the chest, upper back and shoulder blade. Feel the shoulders relax and send that softness down through the arms, all the way to the tips of your fingers. The back of the body is sinking down into the mat, but there's a softness through the front of the body. Your face is soft, jaws relaxed. Let your tongue just sit gently on the bottom of your mouth. And just let your thoughts come and go, not seeing them as bad or an invasion, just welcoming them in as they rise. And giving them none of your energy, just observation. You can start now just to slowly allow your breath to begin to deepen. And then bringing your awareness back to your space on the mat, your position in the room. And just slowly allowing that awareness to expand to the four corners of the mat that you are on, to the four corners of the room that we are in, and beyond that to the world outside around us. And starting to notice little sounds that drop in. And then letting the sound of the bells gently guide you back to your physical body here on the mat, inside this space. Start to invite some little flickers of movement and energy into your fingers and your toes. You might rotate through your wrists and your ankles, letting your head gently move from side to side. Just bringing some energy back into your physical body. When you're ready, extend your arms overhead so your fingers reach to the wall behind, and let your toes reach to the wall in front, and take a nice deep breath in, letting that body become as long as it possibly can. Feeling yourself re-emerge, re-entering into your Monday afternoon. Bend your knees and begin to make your way over to your favorite side. So you're resting your head in your upper arm and your forearm with eyes closed down. And just take some time here to regroup, to regather, to bring everything that you've received from your practice today back with you so you can integrate through the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, whatever resonates with you here, bringing it all back, allowing it to be fully integrated so you can embody all of those things as you continue on with the rest of your Monday. So as you feel ready, just very slowly, mindfully, make your way back up to a comfortable seated position with eyes closed down. Bring hands into prayer. Thumbs just rest gently in on your sternum. Soften the shoulders, a nice straight spine. Just observe how you're feeling now at the end of our practice. And then just find one thing on this day, in this moment, that you are grateful for, and just pop that into your heart space. Maybe you place your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your left and just seal it in and notice what that brings up for you, this little piece of gratitude that you've just popped into your heart space. How does that make you feel? What arises for you in this moment? What emotions come up? What feelings come up? And feel them all. The joy, the excitement, the bliss, the happiness, the love, the relief maybe. And then allow those feelings, those lovely, beautiful feelings, to spread throughout your body. So you get to feel the energy of that gratitude and appreciation, and you're awash with that lovely resonance and vibration and essence of gratitude. Thank you so much for joining me for our Monday middle of the day class, lunchtime class. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and if you'd like to join me in closing the class, you can unmute yourself if you'd like to join, and we could chant one Om and 3 Shantis together. Take a nice deep breath in. Another inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste, or evening.